Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. I couldn't say whether she was there or not. She's... I don't have the foggiest idea. Damn. Goodness. She views us as her assistants. It's been so monstrous for my significant other, man. I've never finished before, furthermore. See this. It's been so revolting for my better half. Also, I remained there, making an effort not to say anything. Be that as it may, I'm not a blogger. So Steve Harvey just put Shirley Strawberry on impact after she expressed a few truly mean things about his significant other, Marjorie. Furthermore, it seems as though Shirley is going to be terminated from her position. Steve and Marjorie have struggled in recent weeks, and Shirley's remarks just compounded the situation for them. Also, Marjorie delayed web-based entertainment. Indeed, it appears as though Steve may be out for retribution. Furthermore, Shirley better keep an eye out. Does Shirley simply uncover Marjorie for being a harasser? Young lady, what's happening with you? What? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Don't say anything, correct? They would have rather not said anything since we would have rather not discussed it. Tune in if you all thought you heard the remainder of Steve Harvey and Marjorie's circumstance. Indeed, you better reconsider in light of the fact that the circumstance as of late got much more turbulent than we even suspected was conceivable. In the event that you missed all the show that has been going on, Steve's companion and representative, Shirley Strawberry, as of late offered a few remarks about Steve and Marjorie that sort of affirmed the reports that had been circumventing about how Marjorie is a piece of work. In any case, what makes what is happening significantly more fascinating is the way that Shirley got uncovered while she was attempting to safeguard her better half, Ernesto Williams. Furthermore, assuming you've missed that show, Shirley has been in a train wreck for the past few months after her significant other got captured on some very unsettling charges a year ago. The charges just got uncovered 2 or 3 weeks prior, and it promptly got chaotic in light of the fact that Shirley was hauled for rottenness via web-based entertainment, particularly in light of the fact that it appeared as though Shirley planned to stick close to him through various challenges. His charges were intense, and they went from stuff like extortion to considerably more major accusations, similar to the ownership of Young P. Shirley even composed a letter to the adjudicator, imploring him to deliver her Nesto to her so she could bring him back home. So besides the fact that Shirley was supporting him, sources uncovered that Shirley was imploring her Nesto to escape the country with her so she could hang out at Steve's home in Dubai. This got Steve hauled so hard for attempting to hold on to a criminal and assist him with getting away from equity. Furthermore, the circumstances got significantly more chaotic for both Steve and Shirley. All things considered, assuming you feel that this is terrible, there were a few spilled tapes and sounds where Shirley was addressing her better half in jail. Furthermore, in one of the tapes, we obviously hear her meddling with Ernesto about Steve and Marjorie. Presently, tune in, she has truly chaotic comments. At the point when Ernesto was previously captured last year, Steve opened the entryways of his home to Shirley on the grounds that she wanted a spot to remain. The police had seized her vehicle and the day-to-day environment was a wreck. So Steve offered her a spot at his home. Indeed, it just so happens that Shirley had a great deal to share with Ernesto about her new everyday environment. In any case, what compounded the situation was the planning of the whole. That is extremely appalling for Steve and Marjorie. Assuming you've been following the Harvey family show for some time now, you realize that there's been bits of gossip about Marjorie going behind Steve's back with his guardian. Be that as it may, much more has been discussed among fans about how Marjorie is just involving Steve for his cash, how she has a very obscure past with certain obscure men, and how she runs the show and controls everybody and everything. Presently, individuals have a pessimistic assessment of her, and Shirley's spilled sound recording appears to be an affirmation of what individuals have been saying about her. So what precisely did Shirley say about Steve and Marjorie that got him so distraught? All things considered, similar to what I said, Steve permitted Shirley to remain with him in Marjorie, yet doubtlessly didn't precisely carry on like she was appreciative for his assistance. In the spilled call with Ernesto, she derided Steve for being flabby. It was gasping for air to say that he in the wake of climbing a stairwell. He got a major, colossal rec center like enormous, with a wide range of cutting-edge gear. Well, I'm not working out, basically. I'm strolling. I'm attempting. I wasn't gasping for air going up those steps. I'll let you know that. He was breathing, no doubt. Indeed. Ridiculing an individual who has placed a rooftop over your head in a few frantic times is some frightful business. However, Shirley didn't stop there since she had a remark about Marjorie as well. She guaranteed that Marjorie made a special effort to try not to run into Shirley, and she had an inclination that Marjorie didn't believe she should remain with them. In any case, she didn't stop there since she asserted that she ran into Marjorie. What's more, Marjorie dealt with her like damnation. She viewed us as assistants. You know, you let me know that. That is not a positive sentiment. Definitely, right? Furthermore, that is all there is to it. Shirley made Marjorie seem like a ruined and nasty housewife who peered down on Shirley and mistreated her. Marjorie was at that point in a chaotic circumstance since individuals previously felt that she was mean. So this affirmation from Shirley exacerbated things. Obviously, Marjorie got hauled again for this, and it got so awful that Steve ultimately needed to address what was happening on the Steve Harvey show, and it seemed as though he constrained Shirley to apologize. Presently, we as a whole realize that Steve doesn't play about Marjorie on the grounds that he is fixated on her, and he doesn't attempt to conceal it. In a new episode of the show, Steve and Shirley at long last tended to every one of the obvious issues at hand, all the dramatization and discussion happening in their lives, and they put any misinformation to rest. Shirley got going by discussing what is happening with her niece, however, and it seems as though it's not as terrible as we suspected it was on the grounds that she uncovered that she's done staying alongside him. It just so happens that the letters she kept in touch with the adjudicator were composed last year before she figured out the genuine degree of Ernesto's violations. It was an instance of misrepresentation at that point, and that is the reason not to stick close to him. In any case, since it is now so obvious what's truly happening, she has petitioned for legal separation and is unloading him. Steve, I will simply begin by saying that my alienated spouse is in prison. He's been in prison for more than a year since about the 4th of July of 2022. As fans have brought up, it's sort of unexpected that Shirley, who is known for offering relationship guidance to different ladies, ended up in a circumstance like this. In any case, fortunately, she appears to have awakened and is doing the brilliant thing. However, she didn't stop there since she at long last tended to her remarks about Marjorie and didn't attempt to deny them. Some calls from last year between him and me were spilled. Also, on those calls, you hear me say you were short of breath going up the steps at your home. Also, Marjorie views us as the ones providing assistance on the spot. I need to apologize to you and Marjorie for what I said. However much I want to, I can't take it back. I can't. I said it. Also, I need to apologize. It was most certainly not me attempting to add to what you and Marjorie have happening in your lives at the present time. Presently, I figure she made the best decision by saying sorry to Marjorie and Steve on air, yet she didn't precisely reclaim her words. Fans accept that the main reason she was sorry was that she got found out, not really on the grounds that she thinks what she said was off base. She presumably still feels like Marjorie was spiteful to her, yet she needed to apologize on the grounds that Steve is her chief. He's not about to pause for a moment and let it slide. Yet something else that caused fans to feel a certain way about her expression of remorse was that she didn't actually get a sense of ownership with her activities, since she faulted sites and fans for exploding the story. However, the way that these tapes were delivered, it appears as though everybody is coming to you and coming for you, as of now, including me. Be that as it may, the tapes don't have anything to do with what you and Marjorie have going on. It was simply me flapping my gums in a confidential discussion, or my thought process was a confidential discussion. Also, once more, I am sorry. I feel awful. I come up with no justifiable reasons. I expressed out loud whatever I expressed, and there's no denying it. Presently, as individuals have brought up, there wouldn't be anything to explode about in the event that she hadn't wasted time talking to Marjorie in any case. So it's only sort of odd for her to attempt to nail it to fans like we made up the story or something to that effect when it was, says Shirley, that said the words and did the things. Yet, she additionally uncovered that the reason she stayed quiet for such a long time on the show is that it's simply been hard for her to discuss it. It was only difficult for me to bring this specific thing up. I was simply so humiliated and embarrassed, and I just felt like a blockhead. I felt so moronic. Also, I would be able to, Not that I would have rather not discussed it. I just couldn't track down the words. Furthermore, that is God's reality. All in all, it's a tough spot to manage. In any case, Steve at last had an opportunity to talk, and he was really frantic at Shirley. This was completely expected in light of the fact that, like I said, he is fixated on his young lady, Marjorie, and he would successfully safeguard her as he ought to. Indeed, he pummeled Shirley on air and uncovered that her remarks about Marjorie made a generally terrible circumstance much more dreadful for Marjorie on the grounds that she got a ton of disdain for it.